my next point, which is you have this philosophy about money where there are three stages. It's um, earning, then you have to multiply it, then you have to preserve it. And it's interesting that that you say the guy that got you into crypto now isn't here anymore. And I also hear about that all the time, but not just not being in crypto, but the money that they made is gone. I know a guy, he's 16, he made 10, I think about 10 million on NFTs in the last bull run. He came out with $10,000 in the end. So how can people not just, catch the pump, but how do they multiply it and then preserve that capital at the end and actually come out with something?
I tell people that making money is a skill.
Yeah.
If you don't make money, it's because you haven't learned the skill of making money, just like making a sales call, just like putting forth a marketing campaign. These are skills that yield money, but the money making skill is also a skill. On the counter, keeping your money is also a skill.
Such a skill.
Budgeting, accounting, running your books. 1,500 years ago, when the Catholic Church owned the world and you had the Bible as the constitutional book of rules, the peasants didn't have access to it. They were illiterate. They were not taught to read in Latin. They were waiting for what? The priest to translate the complex linguistics into a way that the peasants could understand, and the peasants just waited. Today, it's the same thing, except it's called financial illiteracy. Finance is the language of the elite.
Yeah.
Tax code for a reason, is the language of the elite. The reason they make it complicated and confusing is so that you end up being in a situation where you are demoralized from what? Creating wealth. But inside of the rules, which are convoluted on purpose, there's also opportunity. And what I've come to realize is that creating money, multiplying money, and preserving money requires three different mindsets. Anybody can create money. What I mean by creating money, I don't mean going to the Federal Reserve and minting money. Creating money, right, is the ability to turn something like your energy of labor, working and transmuting that energy into dollars. So you're creating dollars. Now the question is, do you always want to be expending your physical energy for the creation of dollars? No. Why? Because you're exchanging something that is finite for something that is infinite. Very stupid trade-off. Very stupid trade-off. So the question is, how quickly can you get out of that trade-off? And the bots get angry when I talk about the fact that you do not want to get paid shit money for your time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, my time. Idiot. You only have X amount of time, finite hours of your life, and you're expending it for money that is getting printed out of thin air. $6 trillion were printed over the last 10 years. Do you know how many hours of labor that is at a minimum wage? You're looking at hundreds of thousands of hours of human capital that were printed out of thin air. Where's that labor?
Mm-hmm.
Who's accounting for that labor? Nobody. Therefore, the currency is worthless. It has no value. So yes, you can create money fast, expend the least amount of energy possible to make money, then you multiply it. Multiply it through what? Investment vehicles, business, the stock market, real estate. Vehicles that do two things, either beat inflation or keep up with inflation. So you need to find what those vehicles are. I don't want to say what these vehicles are because there's so many of them and they change over time.
Yeah.
Finally, you have the preservation of wealth, keeping your money. There's two ingredients, in my opinion, in order to achieve this financial literacy that allows you to keep your money. The first one is you need a financial advisor or a financial planner. You need somebody that, one, understands your risk tolerance, that matches your risk tolerance. Two, that can see into the future, understands how to balance a book, or understands, how much money you can actually spend or what you can invest, and whose job is to care after your money, your financial advisor. Just like you have a doctor that gives you advice if you're not feeling good or if you want to optimize your body, just like you would have a fitness coach help you develop a really good physique, you need a financial advisor and a financial planner that can help you set yourself up really, really well. The second is you need a financial role model. You need an individual that you can look up to. What is your beacon of possibility? So I have my role models, my financial role models, and these role models have different investment theses, different investment vehicles, but they have formulas. And if you can match three things, intensity of effort, repetition, and I would probably say quality of effort, you can potentially achieve a similar result to that of the individuals that you're trying to replicate. So for example, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett has his investment thesis. One of his investment thesis is if you are ultra diversified, you're ignorant.
Right.
Because you have a shotgun type approach. So I see some of these crypto portfolios holding 50 coins. That's a shotgun approach, which is what? It's so open that if one of these becomes a great opportunity, you can't maximize it fully. Simultaneously, on the other side, he's also countering his own thesis by saying, never jump into a pond with both feet. So somewhere in the middle is his investment thesis. This is financial role modeling. And you need to find those individuals that you resonate with, and it's different for everybody based off of what they want, and identify these financial role models, figure out what are the recipes that they use to create, multiply, and preserve wealth. And if you follow these things with the right amount of energy input, with the right amount of dedication, with the right amount of consistency, and with the right amount of effort, you do what? Replicate the result. Just like a list of ingredients. If I give you, right now we go to the kitchen, I give you the list of ingredients, I could give you different eggs, different milk, different flour, but I gave you the same ingredient list and I had different ingredients, we would come up with a very similar product. It's the same thing with finances. It's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with financial literacy, and it's the same thing with becoming rich. There's formulas, there's secrets, there's advice, but you have to find it and then you have to adapt it to yourself. So if you want to achieve mastery level of financial literacy in order to preserve money, financial advisor, financial planner, and have a financial role model that can give you an understanding as to what the limits are.
So just finally, a really interesting thing that you always talk about is data sets. So talk to me about this, and what are some of the more interesting data sets that you've been learning and talking about more recently?
You're doing good compared to who?
Is that a question or a statement?
That's the data set.
That's the data set. So what is it like, not comparing
No,
yourself
you're
to
doing
others?
good. You're doing good in
Uh-huh.
life compared to who?
Compared to someone not doing as good as me.
Perfect. Then compare yourself to a higher standard and you'll keep pushing. That's what I've been learning. Anytime I feel like I'm absolutely crushing the game, I just have to evaluate compared to who.
Hmm.
Keeps me grinding. That's the data set.
I'll take that on board. I appreciate that.
It wasn't for you. It was
No, it's good.
a sentence
That's how
that
I am.
I've been quoting that sentence.
That's what I've been thinking recently. I always think I'm crushing it, but then I put myself in an environment where I'm
And it's not even, you
the
know what,
lowest in the
and
group.
you know what it is? It's not even comparison. It goes back to what I mentioned before. It's role modeling.
Mm.
It's identifying what is the potential availability. So if you think you're crushing, if you think your bull run's going well, if you think your portfolio is crushing, if you think your business is doing great, if you think your physique's at the next level, compared to who?
Mm. Keep leveling up.
Always.
How can people get in touch with you, follow you,
You'll
be
see
a part of
you'll
everything you're doing?
you'll see me on the internet.
See you on the internet?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on. It's
Thanks
been
for having
so
me.
great chatting with you. Really appreciate all your insight, especially about the ETF, because that's coming. And
I'll see you at the Bitcoin halving.
I'll see you on the other side of the harvest.
Let's do it.
Thanks for coming on. Guys, if you enjoyed the show, please don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe, because we're going to be doing a lot more of this crypto content. We'll see you next week.